October 8th, we're going to go ahead and finish out the, what do you call that thing? Poetry term notes, and we're going to try and stay sane and wish ourselves the best of luck. Take your notebook and then turn it face down so you can't see the notes. And we're going to go through and make sure the knowledge is still in your head from yesterday. So you should just be flipping it over, or however you want to do it, just so you can't see what we did yesterday. Once again, we have homework due tomorrow. What homework is due tomorrow?
Idiom worksheet.
If you've not read the directions before you do it, read the directions. If you realize that you've completely screwed it up, where can you get a new one? MrBroviac.com. And for some reason I have kids having trouble finding MrBroviac.com, and I have no idea why. It's my name. .com. It should be pretty easy to figure out. Make sure you don't use any of the idioms that we used in class, because then it's going to affect your grade. Make sure all the writing is in pen. Make sure your pictures cover the entire blob. Make sure that they connect, and that should be good to go. Also, tomorrow we have the cross country for the house points, and then next week for the Spirit Week, which I'll talk more about tomorrow, is also for house points. Every day that you dress up, it'll get us house points. If you go to the Spirit game, it gets us house points. Last night, we rocked the Spirit game with 2 kids that win. So congratulations, Katie and Lily. They were the 2 that were there. Yeah, I know, I was actually proud of you for that moment, so enjoyed it. You went to the game last night. You look confused. You have no idea
What game?
Shh, sweet. Don't even know what to say. Right. So we have cross country coming up on Thursday, tomorrow, and we're hoping to get higher than 2. Fingers crossed. All right. Then yeah, I'm not going to call you. I know, just feel sad. It's okay. The first thing that we got to was similes and mood ring. First thing we have to do is define similes. So mood ring, what's our definition of similes?
It's comparing 2 things using
Nicely done. Technically, I say nouns, but it's the same idea. Compares 2 nouns using like or as, and then you had to come up with an example. McEwen, can you come up with an example of a simile?
The sky is as blue as your chair.
Nicely done. That scarf is like a snake strangling your neck. So any of those, I know, just straight. My shirt is as black, blah, blah, blah. So it gives you that same idea. So that's the idea of a simile. If simile is number... if simile is number 1, Hernandez, what's number 2? Nicely done. Metaphor is number 2. And the definition of metaphor is a little tougher, Tori, but I have faith in you. What are we going to do for the definition of metaphor?
Comparing 2 nouns, saying that one is the other.
I have faith in you for a reason. It is comparing 2 nouns by saying one noun is the other one. And now we have to come up with an example for this one. So Wade, did you have these notes down from yesterday? That's why you have to go on MrBroviac.com. Anyway, make sure you're writing these notes down. So you can go ahead and flip yours over, because this is an entry on the homework side, because you have homework that you're going to do, because blah, blah, blah. Student that was absent to your work. Bad child. From there, saddles. Back to picking on you. What's the definition of a metaphor? Or sorry, no. What's an example of a metaphor? Yes. Say, that scarf is a snake strangling that child.
It is.
Yes. My shirt is a blueberry that I poked my arms through. Another example of a metaphor. Yes. She is a special child. No, that's just stated in fact. Saddle, that help you at all?
Yeah.
Come up with another example then. I know. It's putting you on the spot. It's awful. Comparing.
The TV
Yes.
is a black stormy night.
Works for me. Good job, Saddle. The TV is a black and stormy night. My pants are the velvety lengths of the ocean, or whatever other creepy thing you want to come up with. Then number 3 connects to the homework that's going to be due tomorrow. Shoemaker, what's number 3?
I don't know.
That's fine. I still have faith in you. I'm not going to stop calling on you.
Is it an idiom?
It is. See, that's why I called on you. Good job, you. It's an idiom. And then the definition of an idiom, Yana?
It's 2 things, literal
and
figurative.
Good job. Common phrase with 2 definitions, figurative and literal. Then you had to come up with your example of it. So Aubrey, what are you doing for your idiom for tomorrow?
I've got my eye on you.
I've got my eye on you would definitely work. Minju, what are you doing for your idiom for tomorrow? Do you have one for tomorrow yet? That is very honest of you now. You have homework for tomorrow. Balloon, what are you doing for your idiom for tomorrow?
Dancing with
Would work. Ants in my pants. Charming.
Why don't you just zip your lip, buddy?
Good job. The same one that I have up there. Brady.
The weight
No.
of the world is on my shoulders.
I had
Works
that
great.
before.
It's fine. I'm not yelling at you. Down. And so that having the weight of the world on your shoulders is another idiom. Silly.
Don't push the envelope.
That would work also. No one likes an envelope pusher. And takes us to number 4. And number 4 was the speaker in a poem. And this one was a little bit tougher. Katie, what do we have for the speaker in a poem? Sorry, Eddie.
Oh.
That makes more sense.
Like the person or the whatever's talking in the poem.
Works for me. The main character narrating and talking to us in the poem. And then D, an example of a poem that had a speaker in it we've done so far.
Caterpillar.
Yeah, I get choked up thinking about poetry too. Who was the speaker of the poem Caterpillar?
A caterpillar.
Nice to meet you. Seem confused, but that's okay. I'll forgive you on this one. And then Brittle. We did another one about dirty little dwarfs or midgets or whatever they were. What poem was that?
One I just said.
And who was the speaker there?
Grumpy.
Nicely done. And then we did other one like the rhyming riddle of the snow, and you have the ones in the back of the homeworks that Lily keeps throwing away, and you'd have all of those too. And then number 5 was stanza. And Victor, what's a stanza?
It's a paragraph in a poem.
Go you. Paragraph in a poem. Now you can turn the notebooks back over and we get to go to more educating. Our next 2 are ones that we've not officially learned yet, so we get to do real learning stuff. 6 is a refrain, which is different than the word refrain. Refrain means to not do something. And you should refrain from talking in class when you only have 6 points so you don't get a detention. A refrain is something that comes from songs and music, and also in poetry. If you are familiar with songs and music, you should be somewhat familiar with the refrain. Mr. Brovicast, does it mean to frain again? Yes. But do you know what fraining is? No, that's a made-up word. So then that would be a no. Mick Ewan.
Is the refrain like the chorus?
What's a chorus?
It's like it comes up more than once in the song.
Nicely done. A line that gets repeated. So a refrain is like a chorus. It's a line that is repeated throughout a poem. Tomorrow's poem has a great refrain in it that we're going to get into. And we had another poem that had a great refrain in it, but I cut it this year. We didn't do it because it was long and kind of boring. Unfortunately, we've not done great poems so far that have refrains in them. Caterpillar was our best one that had a refrain in it so far, and it was not super strong.
Wait, are we doing
An example?
Yes.
what's it mean to write? Well, what's the example?
That's what we're talking about right now. That's why I'm still teaching. Caterpillar was our best example so far, and Caterpillar has a refrain in it. My question is, can you find the refrain in the poem Caterpillar? Shoemaker. That's just one line. That's a word that gets repeated, but you're close. That's my answer too. So, best argument ever. Right up there with because. Clark.
I nibble.
No. No, it says that once.
No, it says it twice.
Where?
It says, I nibble it leaf by leaf. I munch and nibble unregarding.
Good. It's just repeating of a word though.
Wait.
Yes.
No, I'm good.
Contino.
Ooh, I know.
Who else would that be? Yeah.
Under this roof of honeysuckle.
Yeah. So it's not a real strong one, but it's the under this roof of honeysuckle. Because it repeats it there, then it repeats it down in like the 6th stanza again. So it was the best we could find. Tomorrow's, it's easy. You'll be like, oh, that's so easy. But we just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. So now you'll be educated. The example's not popping up because I put the example for my regular class because they did a poem that had a good refrain in it. So if I pop it up there, it's not going to mean anything to you. So we had to do ours orally. Caterpillar. The line about the honeysuckle. And we're going to go to number 7. By the way, if you fill up your homework page and you have to continue on, what page do you continue on to?
Homework.
The next homework page. What do you put at the top of that next homework page?
Poetry terms.
And then what do you put at the top left?
Dates.
Nice.
Not in the right. I did that one.
Yeah, that's bad. It gets us poked with a stick.
No, you get me with clipboard.
Same thing. Number 7,
Wait, how do you spell this?
rhyme scheme. This is another thing I've not officially taught you yet. There's every chance you remember it from my kindergarten, but that was a long time ago. Some of you have slept twice. Charmis, do you know what rhyme scheme is?
It's when
We'll take that as a no. Victor?
It's like what you use to rhyme. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how to word it.
Oh,
wait, I think I got it.
Eddie?
Like the rhyming pattern?
Yeah. It's just a pattern. So a rhyme scheme is just a pattern of rhyme. It's the code that tells us the pattern of rhyme. The rhyming pattern in a code. For those of you who think you're special, can you give me an example of what a rhyme scheme would be like?
No.
Yes.
I just watched your brain like break. It's
I
awesome.
did math too. I'm like, I'm wrong, I'm right.
Oh,
yeah.
And I said, make a A, B, A, B.
Nicely done. I did AABB, but you can do ABAB or AABB.
That's
Oh,
I thought
right.
you meant like an actual.
Yeah, no, rhyme scheme. This is what a rhyme scheme is.
Oh.
Mr. Brovak, that doesn't make sense. You should teach us that. I'm going to in just a moment. As soon as you're done with this, we're going to look at the poem Spider on the back of your pink sheet. And you're going to write on it. Because next week, when you have to figure out rhyme scheme all on your own, this is where that paper is going to come in handy. You get to refer back to it as a cheat sheet. It's like you're trying to help us. Shh. Alright. Here's how rhyme scheme works. We're going to assign a letter to every line of the poem. That lets us know what lines rhyme with each other. Every rhyme scheme starts with the same letter, because you always have to start with the first letter of the alphabet. So what is our rhyme scheme going to start with? A. You always have to start with A. So you assign A to the first line. You go to your next line. Does skies rhyme with eyes? So you give it the same letter. So you write an A next to it. So you just write an A out there to the right-hand side. So write an A and an A. You go to line 3. Blouse. Does blouse rhyme? No. So what letter do we give it?
B.
So you go to the next letter of the alphabet. House.
B.
It rhymes with blouse. You give it that same letter. It gets B. When you go to a new stanza, you do not start over. You keep on going through it. So we get to goes, and that would be
C.
C. Toes.
C.
It rhymes with goes. And you have flower.
D.
D does not rhyme with anything. Bower.
D.
D doesn't rhyme with flower. That one got scary all of a sudden. And then we come down to hands, and that would be
E.
Strands.
E.
Small.
F.
All.
F.
So now you see that the pattern is A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, F. Without even looking at stanza 4, you should be able to tell me what the rhyme scheme is going to be for stanza 4. What would be our rhyme scheme in stanza 4? Clark?
G, G, H, H.
Correct. G, G. And you can look at stanza 4 and make sure, oh, it works. And that's how that rhyme scheme works. But sometimes they get a little trickier. So now, go to, I think it's the green sheet. It has caterpillar on it. We're going to take a look at the caterpillar poem. Caterpillar's a little trickier. To start with, Rita, what letter do we have to start it with?
A.
So you start with A. So you assign honeysuckle an A, and then goes to caterpillar. Does caterpillar rhyme? What letter do you give it? B. Spray?
C.
C. Away.
C.
So now we have a different pattern. Now it's A, B, C, C. New stanza. Don't start over. Dandelions is?
D.
Oh.
A. I don't know.
That's honest of you. So
Okay,
you say
D?
A, dandelions rhymes with
No,
honeysuckle.
I said D and then someone like, huh? So I changed it.
So what letter does dandelions get?
D.
D. Glasses?
E.
Lane?
F.
Again?
F.
You have A, B, C, C, D, E, F, F. Skelter?
G.
G. Unregarding? H. Firm?
I.
And then worm?
I.
Now we got to the basics. Now we get to make it a little trickier. So look at stanza 4.
J.
What is tricky with stanza 4? Mr. Broviac, there's nothing tricky. Then you're doing it wrong. That was fun.
Melancholy.
So did I.
What?
Okay. Oh.
Eddie?
The last two lines end with spraying away, and that's what the last two lines of the first stanza were.
So what is our rhyme scheme for stanza 4?
J, K, C, C.
Is correct. So you have J, K, C, C. Because you have to go all the way back to stanza 1 to get the C, C on that one. You have to keep her going all the way back to the beginning. You can't just look at the line before it. You have to go back to the entire poem.
I got you.
Stanza 5. Do you feel you have stanza 5?
L.
So what's our first line? Does anyone want to do stanza 5? Feel brave and strong. Shoemaker.
Okay, so. I think it.
I don't want thinking, I want knowing.
You
You can sass for later. Focus.
Okay, so first one. would
Resurrection.
be- What?
Resurrection
Yeah.
is what letter?
L.
Good. And flutter?
Flutter would be. Flutter. M. Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Care.
yeah, the N
Good.
and N.
Good job. And then the last one. Stanza 6.
A.
Why do you say A?
Because the first. No, it's.
No.
It's.
Charming.
Charming? Who's charming?
Counts enough?
Because it's O because it doesn't rhyme.
So you're saying it's O.
Yeah.
Victor?
It's A, it's A
Why?
because it's like, it's the same word as the first.
Nice
It
one.
doesn't rhyme.
Honeysuckle is the exact same word, so it rhymes with itself. Honey, if you can't rhyme honeysuckle with honeysuckle, that's a scary thought. Mr. Broviac, that's not a good rhyme. I didn't say it was a good
Yeah,
rhyme.
it's not a
It's the fact that it's showing you that it's the exact same rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
So then what's caterpillar gotta be?
B.
Bee. And then
Oh,
seat.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Jackson.
So, basically what you're saying, something does rhyme with orange? Orange?
Yeah.
So it does have a rhyme.
Yeah, itself. Good job.
So everything has
This poem is not on your handout. It's just up here. This is your how well can you figure out rhyme scheme test. So on your piece of paper somewhere, just go through, look up there, see if you can figure out what the rhyme scheme is. There's only 6 lines to the poem. It says, Carl Sandburg says, the fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches, and then moves on. So what would be the rhyme scheme for this one? Carol Sue.
It doesn't have any rhyme.
So what would be the rhyme scheme?
A, B, C, D, E, F.
Nicely done. If there's no rhyme scheme, then you just go through the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What happens if you get to 27? Then it goes to A, B, B, C, C. But realize it's tough to get through 27 lines without accidentally rhyming something. So eventually you're going to have some kind of rhyme in there. If you get all the way to triple A, quadruple A, quintuple A, it's fine, but impressive. Because how do you have that many words when something doesn't rhyme somewhere? Plus, that's a really long poem. But that's rhyme scheme. Simple as that. Charming!
Okay, so I am charming. First of all, you call me angry, so I think I'm angry.
Was that your question?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
What?
And number 8. We're going to look at figurative language.
Hey, you just denied me.
Yes.
What?
I was agreeing with you.
That's not nice.
Yes, again.
Neat.
Figurative language goes back to the definition we talked about the other day. You should already have this one defined in there, as Ms. Davis will demonstrate to us, and she can go back and look at poetry homework number 3 where we wrote down the definitions. Ms. Davis, what is the definition of figurative language? Nicely done. Figurative is going to be the common, everyday meaning. To figure out your example, go back to your number 3. What did you write down for your idiom? Whatever you wrote down for your idiom, you're going to write down the common meaning of that idiom. So if you put down you're on cloud 9, you're going to say that you're really happy. Oh my God. If you're going to write down that you got caught red-handed, you're going to say that you were captured in the act of doing something. So whatever it's going to be. I did zip your lips. What does zip your lips mean? Nice look. I'm not quite that mean. I would say stop talking. That's the same idea. If you did mine, then you can write this one down. If you didn't do zip your lips, then you can't steal mine. Crispin, if number 8 is figurative, what does that make number 9 have to be?
Literal.
Nicely done. And number 9 will have to be literal. Our definition of literal, Hernandez, remember what the definition is?
The word for word definition.
Nicely done. The word for word definition. Once again, this requires you to go back and look at your idiom to come up with the word for word. When you do the word for word definition, just like for the homework tomorrow, you cannot use any of the verbs or nouns. So when I do zip your lips, I can't use zip or lips. If you're doing on cloud 9, you couldn't do cloud or 9. If you're doing jump the gun, you couldn't use jump or gun. So when I did zip your lips, I couldn't use zip, so I said metal closer, and I couldn't say lips, so I would have to say skin flaps. I can't say shut up, because that's the figurative one. And for literal, I put a metal closer on your skin flaps and move it. I figure that's the word for word definition. That's what zip your lips would mean.
Wait, isn't figurative the one that's like word for word?
Wow, it's like it says right there. Literal, word for word.
Then what's figurative?
Just like it says it right there. It's weird how the definitions are right in front of you.
Yeah, but isn't like the everyday meaning like the word for word?
No. If I say zip your lips, what do you know that to mean?
Shut up.
Right. That would be the common everyday meaning.
Yeah, but that's like word for word.
No, word for word is you take it exactly as it sounds. Zip your lips, meaning you're putting a zipper onto your lips. Not sure how else to help you all.
I'm confused.
I've noticed that.
Alternative terms.
Hey!
Number 10. Don't attack each other. That's my job. 10. Alliteration. Victor?
Can I say the definition?
Yeah.
It's where you like put a bunch of words in a row and they have the same beginning sound.
Nice one. I'm going to change it a little bit. It has to be a consonant. Cannot be a vowel. Mr. Brovicast, what's a consonant? Things in our vowels. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L,
Wait, what are the vowels?
P, Q, R, S, T.
Oh yeah!
no, not that again.
Right. I said Johnny jumps over Joey while jogging.
That's cool.
Yeah, jumping always is. It's an action verb. Gesundheit. Excuse me.
You're
Thank you.
Oh, that's stupid.
And our last one. Assonance.
I know what that is.
Me too. Assonance is connected to alliteration. They are twins of each other, brothers and sisters. Shoemaker, what's assonance?
Okay. Okay. My English prof used to call it something else. But it's when you have a repetitive vowel.
Nice. Repetition of the vowel sound.
Oh, it's just an alliteration?
The alliteration with vowels. That's why it's the exact same definition. I just changed one word.
Oh.
Yeah. Right there in front of you. I said Abby ate an apple after attacking Ashley with an apricot. You could do Erica eats earwax every day.
Ew!
Goodness gracious.
That's
Let's yell and lose points. Victor.
Why weren't there haikus?
Haikus I'm not as worried about because you already have that on the handout. And this was, I wanted to have it written down so when it comes time for a test, in case your brain melts on you and you can't think of like, I don't remember alliteration, Mr. Remember, I can say, look in your notebook. Haikus, I can say, look on your paper. So my way of trying to help make sure you guys have stuff in there. Tomorrow, don't forget we have the idiom due, and we have time to read. Who would have thought?
We worked so hard to slow you down.
I know, you guys were adorable.
Stop. That's what you're doing.